first look at MAFS bisexual brides as we reveal producers' biggest gamble in years. Plus, why a socialite couple was cut from wedding guest list. MAFS Insider. Married at First Sight is no stranger to a casting twist. But for its 2027 season, the experts have taken one of their boldest chances, yet by matching two bisexual brides together. I can reveal Melbourne personal trainer Victoria Sellar and Virgin Australia flight attendant Shona Marino form one of the new season's headline couples.
Fruit flies taking over your kitchen? This discreet plug-in trap uses light to attract flying insects, then captures them on a replaceable adhesive cartridge, without noisy zapping or messy sprays. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/one right now.
Both women separately told producers during casting that they were open to finding love with either a man or a woman. Once the experts realized they had two brides with similarly open views on the gender of a potential partner, they decided to take the gamble and pair them. They were definitely the wildcard couple, one production insider told me. Melbourne personal trainer Victoria Sellar, left, and Virgin Australia flight attendant Shona Marino, right, form one of the new season's headline couples. Both women separately told producers during casting that they were open to finding love with either a man or a woman. Victoria is pictured on her wedding day. Once the experts realized they had two brides looking for the same thing, they decided to take the gamble and pair them together, writes senior showbiz reporter Ali Daher. It was the biggest gamble the experts made this season. Both women independently said they were open to dating either sex, so once the experts realized they had two people looking for exactly the same thing, they decided to take the risk. Naturally, the pairing will be promoted as one of the major twists of the 2027 experiment, but sources insist Victoria and Shona were not matched purely to create headlines. This wasn't producers forcing a twist, one insider said. The experts believed they were genuinely compatible, and that's why they were matched. Whether that compatibility survives the pressure cooker of MAFS, where 24 other contestants may catch their eye, is another question. But on paper, at least, producers believe they have struck gold. Before walking down the aisle, Shona had already caused a stir among the cast. Victoria embraced tradition in a fitted white bridal gown, complete with a lace-edged veil and an enormous bouquet of red roses. She arrived at Sydney Town Hall in a strapless, floor-length black gown with a matching dark veil and a dramatic bouquet of deep burgundy flowers. It was gothic, glamorous, and unlike anything previously seen at an Australian MAFS wedding. The Daily Mail can reveal the flight attendant made a surprise entrance at the groom's bucks party, catching the men completely off guard. And let's just say they weren't disappointed to see her. Several grooms were ecstatic as Shona joined the celebrations, instantly making her one of the most talked-about participants on the night. Her appearance left the men wondering exactly where she fitted into the experiment. Some wondered whether the producers had just sent a beautiful woman into the mix to stir up drama. The answer soon became clear. She was joining the boys because her MAFS partner was at the hen's party. Meanwhile, Victoria was making an equally strong impression among the brides. Those who met the Sydney PT described her as confident, energetic, and impossible to ignore. She was comfortable in the group, made her presence known, and wasted no time throwing herself into the experience. But unlike some contestants who arrived determined to become the loudest person in every room, Victoria's appeal came from her self-assurance. Several grooms were ecstatic as Shona joined the bucks party. Some wondered whether the producers had just sent a beautiful woman into the mix to stir up drama. The answer soon became clear. She was joining the boys because her MAFS partner was at the hen's party. The contrast between the two women was striking on their wedding day. Shona did the complete opposite, arriving in a strapless, floor-length black gown with a matching dark veil and a dramatic bouquet of deep burgundy flowers. In doing so, she is believed to have become the first bride in the history of MAFS Australia to walk down the aisle in black. The pair exchanged vows at Sydney Town Hall, with the grand CBD landmark offering the backdrop for one of the most spectacular ceremonies filmed this season. Guests watched as the two women met at the altar after separately entering the experiment without knowing whether they would be matched with a man or a woman. It was a genuine surprise, and precisely the sort of reveal producers dream about. MAFS Australia has, of course, featured same-sex relationships before. Amanda Micallef and Tash Hers became the show's first lesbian pairing in 2020, and the 2026 season also featured grooms Sam Stanton and Chris Robinson. However, Victoria and Shona's match was unique in that both women signed up for the experiment without knowing the sex of their future partner. If it falls apart, the pairing will inevitably face questions over whether it was a genuine romantic match or simply a bisexual twist designed to generate publicity. Perth cosmetic nurse Cody Wyatt appeared noticeably uneasy as she arrived for her wedding, keeping her head down and making a swift dash towards the venue. Either way, Cody's uncertainty appeared to disappear once she met her groom, Winta Cunnington, pictured. Not every MAFS bride arrives ready to perform for the cameras. Her subdued entrance was a far cry from the beaming smiles, dramatic poses, and carefully rehearsed walks we have come to expect from contestants on their big day. Cody, who works as a registered aesthetic nurse at Clear Skincare's Claremont Clinic, was asked to repeat her arrival several times but initially refused. For a moment, it looked as though nerves may have got the better of her. Her uncertainty appeared to disappear once she met her groom, Winta Cunnington. The Byron Bay coal miner is described by friends as a genuinely nice guy. At the time of writing, he has just 138 Instagram followers, unusually modest numbers for a MAFS cast member. The Byron Bay coal miner is described by friends as a genuinely nice guy. At the time of writing, he has just 138 Instagram followers, unusually modest numbers for a MAFS cast member. It suggests producers may have deliberately recruited more everyday singles who are genuinely looking for a relationship rather than another 100,000 followers. Of course, a small Instagram following is no guarantee of pure intentions. They're a great match, one friend told me. Cody is exactly his type. The 2027 season is being filmed at an especially sensitive time for the global MAFS franchise. Pictured, new bride Kristen Godek. The 2027 season is being filmed at a sensitive time for the global MAFS franchise. Returning executive producer Alex Sparway will once again oversee the series, with Chelsea Heileman joining her as co-executive producer. The British series has been engulfed by serious allegations involving former participants, placing contestant vetting, welfare, and the responsibilities of producers under intense scrutiny. 2 former UK brides alleged they were raped by the men they had been matched with, while a third woman alleged she was subjected to a non-consensual sexual act. The allegations, which were revealed during a BBC Panorama investigation, have been disputed by the former participants accused. Channel 4 subsequently removed previous seasons of MAFS UK from its television and streaming services and commissioned an external review of contributor welfare. The British broadcaster said the review would examine the protocols in place when concerns were raised, how those concerns were handled, and whether further safeguards should be introduced. Channel 4 has maintained that concerns raised through its existing welfare procedures were met with prompt and appropriate action based on the information available at the time. Nevertheless, the scandal has sent shockwaves through the reality TV industry. Producers have once again assembled a cast of big personalities, complex backstories, and the kind of romantic baggage that has made the franchise addictive viewing, including Kane Buick. Buick first shot to fame on Sam Frost's season of The Bachelorette, and it has reinforced something MAFS producers should already know. Casting is not just about finding the biggest personalities or creating the most explosive dinner party. They are putting strangers into an intense environment and asking them to build intimate relationships under constant surveillance. Getting that wrong can have consequences far beyond bad television. For Channel 9 and the producers Endemol Shine Australia, the pressure to thoroughly vet participants and create responsible matches has never been greater. It needs big personalities, unpredictable couples, and enough conflict to keep audiences watching 4 nights a week. But it also needs participants who are suitable for the experiment and matches that make sense beyond their value in a promo. Victoria and Shona will undoubtedly be sold as the bombshell couple of 2027. 2 bisexual brides who had no idea whether the experts would match them with a man or a woman. From a television perspective, it's the perfect storyline. But once the shock of the reveal wears off, producers will need to prove there is something real beneath it. They can tell when two people have been brought together for compatibility and when they have been paired simply to create chaos. The experts insist this match is genuine. Competition for a place at a MAFS wedding is almost as fierce as the battle to get onto the show itself. Sydney hospitality identity, Pota Okroa and his model girlfriend Charlie Austin discovered that the hard way when they failed to make the guest list for one of this season's ceremonies. The groom was reportedly allowed to invite just 6 people, forcing him to make some ruthless cuts. Sydney hospitality identity, Pota Okroa and his model girlfriend Charlie Austin failed to make the guest list for one of this season's ceremonies. I'm told the high society couple, who usually have the red carpet rolled out for them, were simply casualties of the show's notoriously tight guest limits, which leave brides and grooms choosing between family, lifelong friends, and the more colorful characters in their social circles. But when there are only 6 seats available, even the best-connected friends can find themselves watching from home. The groom in question is no stranger to this masthead or Sydney's social scene. The confident hospitality operator has spent years working in the city's bar and nightclub industry and is accustomed to managing big personalities under pressure.